Money day, guys and girls. Hope you guys are all blessed. Now, I thought I'd give you guys, by popular demand, a breakdown on BTC. Yes, Bitcoin. Bitcoin is something that has been on the tongues of many investors right now. And of course, if you're someone who has never heard of Bitcoin before, my boy, where you been? So, Bitcoin being the largest digital currency right now and being the most popular is something that, of course, has taken the whole investment market by storm. So, what I wanted to do today was just give you guys a breakdown so you guys can understand a bit more about the heights that Bitcoin can go to. And pretty much, if you're someone like me who's waiting to buy some more coins, find out where we can buy from. So, if you're watching this video on YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe. You know the vibes, it's lit side. So let's get into this. Now, what I want to do is show you guys the height of where Bitcoin went to. Bitcoin managed to climb to $68,000. Now, once upon a time, guys, back in 2013, little old me was quite fortunate to be able to get into Bitcoin around 500 euros a coin. Okay. Yes, I know it sounds crazy. It sounds like this guy must be chatting rubbish, but I promise you, I got the receipts to show you. Okay. Around 2013, okay, I was able, quite fortunate, to purchase Bitcoin for 500 euros a coin. Back then, I had no idea Bitcoin would climb to what it's climbed to now. Okay. I didn't hold the coins from here until, 60 plus thousand. I actually held the coins from about the most was about 1700 euros. So from 500 to 1700 euros. Okay. So of course, hindsight's a wonderful thing. If I knew a bit more about what I had invested into, then I definitely would have held it a lot longer. But unfortunately, I just wasn't in the right headspace to understand something so simple. And when I did start to understand it, the ship had already sailed, and you never really know how high the ceiling's going to go with things, and you tend to think, okay, well, you know, the last thing I'm thinking is I'm going to become a millionaire from it. So I just simply invested into the coin. I used to live off of Bitcoin. I used to spend money like it was my bank account. I had a debit card linked up to my crypto account. So I pretty much used to use my Bitcoin account like a everyday use, everyday savers type of card. When, if I knew the value back then to now, of course, hindsight's a wonderful thing. Be that as it may, I've still been fortunate enough to get into Bitcoin at lower prices. But the question now becomes, where can we buy from? Now, if you guys have been invested into crypto for years, let me know in the comment section below. How long have you guys really been looking into the crypto market, more specifically Bitcoin? And of course, just let me know where you guys have bought in at, and what you guys are looking to get in return. Now, ultimately, guys, we've gone through this consolidation phase right now. We are in a reaccumulation phase, okay? But I'm looking at prices coming down lower. So I want to show you guys on a weekly. Now, I've said this before, I'll say it again. When price stops to make a new higher high, this is a major indication for the market about to shift in its direction. So ultimately, because we haven't had that new higher high, if we go into the line graph, we can see we had the higher high here, and price has just plateaued and made an equal high. So because of the equal high, we can't expect, or let me rephrase that. Because of the equal high, until price either makes a new high or a new low, our expectations right now should be on the fence. We shouldn't be like the naysayers who are online or who are reading through the newspapers that Bitcoin is going to go to 100,000 in a week. That is not what we're doing here. We're being very logical, okay, and we're being very practical. We understand that market structure is the most important aspect when we're understanding any type of currency, whether it's cryptocurrency, whether it's Forex. Okay. So based off of that, we understand now um, that price has not yet made a new high, which is cool. Okay. But we also haven't made a new low. So until price takes out this higher low or this higher high is the only time when we can start to assume that price is in a continuation phase to be bullish, or if price is actually turning around to be bearish. Now, on a weekly time frame, it does look like we did push up. We fell to close above this previous market structure high. And actually, because we had a failed breaker structure, price has come back down to mitigate from some of its positions. Now, in layman's terms, what I'm looking for, guys, if we go on a daily time frame, is a pullback, a nice acute pullback into an area where I would feel comfortable buying from. Now, although I mentioned the fact that I'm looking for a pullback, I'm not going to be upset if price does decide to push back up first to fill this imbalance that we have here. Okay. If price decides to fill this imbalance or some of it and then come down lower. Okay. Because ultimately, this area was an area that I noticed to be a substantial buying area for institutions. Now, I'm just going to make this area quite clear, distinctive, so you guys can see. We've got a couple of candles inside of this area. Okay, we've got this institutional candle here, and we've got a few lit blocks inside of here as well. Now, ultimately, guys, if we can get Bitcoin come back down to $37,000, I would be very, very, very interested in taking some positions inside of this area. Okay. Of course, the creme de la creme, the dream is for Bitcoin to come back down to the depths of hell around $25,000. If we could get Bitcoin coming around that area, we can see here we did have some really nice positive reactions off of this eye candle we had, or this lit block. We had a reaction here, we had a reaction here, we had a reaction here, and of course that was the last reaction. Now, ultimately, guys, because we had price push up and make a high, if I use the fib just to show you guys, we mark from this high to this low over here. Okay, from this high to this low, we can see price came down, but it didn't actually reach our area. Our area would be 62% or below. Okay, we didn't quite reach that area, but price did come back to 50%. So hypothetically, we could actually move on past that. If we don't want to move past that, then we do need to understand the fact that Bitcoin could still come down as low as 30,000 a coin. The question now becomes, well, what would be down here for us to buy? What would be down here for Bitcoin to come so low? And one of the easiest answers that I'm highlighting right now is that we have some imbalance inside of this area here, which I'll mark out for you guys. Okay, inside of this blue box, we have some imbalance, which means there's been money left on the table. And of course, we've got a lot of candles around the $25,000 to $28,000 range that could actually enable us to get some positive reactions with Bitcoin. Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen today, tomorrow, next week, but what I am saying, guys, is this is very clearly a long game. Okay, from 2013 to 2024 now, we've seen the heights. Oh, okay, from 2013 to 2023, over a 10-year period, we've seen Bitcoin go to $68,000. $68,000. So it's fair to say within the next 10 years, there's no reason why Bitcoin can't double that. So to my answer to a lot of people who ask me, Vel, what do you think Bitcoin's going to climb to? Do you think Bitcoin can reach 100K a coin? Well, if Bitcoin could reach near enough 70,000 in 10 years, why can't Bitcoin reach 140,000, which is double in 20 years? In another 10 years' time, why can't Bitcoin go there? I'm not saying that Bitcoin is going to take another 10 years to reach to that plateau, because I think personally, when it comes to cryptocurrency and more specifically digital currency, this is something right now that is becoming more of a consistent and reliable source of business, meaning banks across the world are changing their financial global infrastructure so that they can send money via digital currency so that transactions can be performed a lot faster. We've also seen the likes of Amazon building their first store. Their store, of course, provides you with the accessibility of walking in, scanning your barcode and walking out, meaning you're not paying for anything, just scanning a barcode. So we are already seeing a lot of cryptocurrency being implemented into the global infrastructure. So there's a lot of reasons why price does have to come back down, because naturally, guys, when the price is high, investors like to buy low and sell high, right? And when the price is high, we know that the media, okay, as well as the market makers, like to control investors' mindsets and getting them to sell. So what did they do? Like what we saw previously with JP Morgan's announcing that Bitcoin they thought was a scam, it was worth nothing. They convinced everyone to sell whilst they started buying. So I'm looking around the $30,000 area to be a safe haven. That could really be an area that just really does enable us to say, you know what? Prices come down this low, we're actually going to invest 60% of our passive income to actually reinvesting into this, because I think honestly, guys, if we could get in anywhere from from 37,000 down to 24,000, this is a prime area to be buying Bitcoin right now. Okay, it's a prime area. I'm not saying that, buying this area is the last area price is going to reach before it decides to go up to, 68 plus thousand. But what I am saying is this is an area that we could definitely expect had we providing we can get inside of this range. If price can come down to 68%, I'd expect price to hover around these areas, but it will react off of one of these. It will react off of the 70, the 79, or the 88. And then price, the first target I will be looking for is $53,000. So you've heard me call it here. $53,000 will be an area that Bitcoin will reach. Okay. Providing we get enough price action, okay, providing the US decides to continue its disruption, I believe that over the next 3 months, we can definitely see $53,000 reached. Okay. And I'm talking about price coming down, guys. We need to get price come down first. We need to get it to come down before it goes up. If it goes straight up to 53,000, then what I'd be looking for is for price to come down still in order for us to be able to go up. I'm not looking to be buying from where price is at the moment. I'm only looking to buy from around 37,000 and below. Okay. My first area here is around 37,500. My more preferred area would definitely be in a discounted zone at around $30,000 dollars per coin. So you've heard it here first. I'm going to show you guys on the hourly time frame just so that you guys can understand a bit more method to the madness. Okay. On the hourly time frame, we look good. Okay, we can see that there is an equal low down here. And for those of you who are students to the game, you'll know that wherever there's an equal low, this just simply means there's money here. Okay, there's liquidity inside of this area. And of course, wherever the money is, that's where price is always going to go. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did actually get price pushed down lower, okay, and take out this liquidity and come towards the 37,600 mark. If we get price coming towards this area, it's a huge, huge, huge opportunity for us to actually have a look at cost dollar averaging into Bitcoin. Okay. I'm not saying you need to break the bank. You don't need to go and borrow some money and, beg outside the train station for spare change. I want you to simply cost dollar average, which means, guys, take your time, invest in what you can afford to invest in. If you stick to an amount that you're investing into Bitcoin, stick to an amount. Stick to an amount and just keep doing that each time price moves. Now, essentially, that's for my investors. Now, for my traders, for those of you who are trading CFDs on Bitcoin, man, we're in heaven right now. Okay, because we can see there is an area to the downside, okay, which price should come down to, but realistically speaking, if price cannot push higher, we do need to think about holding. Okay. Now, 1 second. Let me just change the time frame. So on the 4 hour time frame, we can see that price, of course, if I go onto the line graph, okay, we can see we had a new high. Now, I said this to you guys earlier, right? When price fails to make a new high, okay, a new higher high, this is an indication that price is about to shift in its direction. So what we can actually see here is the higher low was taken out, okay? And of course, with the higher low being taken out, we have been put inside of a position now where we can say on a 4 hour time frame that we are bearish. If we're bullish on a higher time frame, then that just means the smaller time frame is pulling back. But like I said, for my traders, for those of you who are actually trading Bitcoin right now, you guys can still be looking at taking some nice, juicy, loosey shorts. And those shorts that you guys could be taking in the market, well, look, guys, we're potentially looking at 42,000 down to 37,000. That's a nice, juicy, loosey looking short here, my boy. Okay. If we go over here, we check the percentage. The percentage is actually just under 12%. So it's a 12% potential gain. I'm not saying you guys should be jumping in right now. What I will do is upload this video as soon as I can, and I will go down to the hour time frame and try to give you guys an entry point. Now, right now, price is pushed up. It's filled the imbalance, so it could just potentially be reacting as of now. Okay, it looks like we've come down. We've gone into redistribution here. Prices accumulated to redistribute, and it could potentially be dumping off. So let's just see what happens. Okay, here from this candle, If price cannot reach this candle, guys, then we may have missed this. We may have missed the train on this. Okay. But if price doesn't do that, then another thing price can do is price can come down, can push back up, fill this imbalance, and then we can catch the trade down here. So I'm going to end it here, guys. I want you guys to understand Bitcoin is something from a long-term perspective that we can be very, very profitable on. For those of you who are trading this as a CFD, guys, it's the time to start trading this for sure. We could definitely look at some shorts. The shorts right now, I would be favoring down to around 37,000. Then I would be careful. Okay. There is an equal low at around 40K. So I'm expecting price to at the very least, come down to 40,000 so that we can then, of course, say the liquidity has been grabbed. But ultimately, the only time I'll be looking to buy this, guys, is when it can either come down to 37,000, which is what I would be investing in. I'd invest into Bitcoin around this area, and I'd buy it from a CFD perspective around 62%, which is around 30K. So, guys, make sure you take your time with this. Bitcoin is something that is going to be here for a very long time. You guys do need to keep up to date with what's happening around the world so you can understand the implications and reasons as to why Bitcoin will surpass $68,000. I'm personally telling you guys here that I believe Bitcoin will reach 53,000 in the next 3 months. We can visit this video in 3 months' time. And if you're watching this video in 3 months' time, of course, let me know. The date right now is January the 15th. Let's see how we get on. And as usual, be sure to understand and remember that every day is money day. Peace.